want you to be doing other things just because you can.
Wow.
That's good.
Listen, every seed is small. I'm excited today to see all of you. I told you to tell y'all today that y'all are beautiful.
Amen. Thank you.
They're awesome. I'm talking about in the spirit now. And you're growing.
Yes, Lord.
Don't let the devil tell you that because you're not where somebody else is that you're not growing.
Amen.
All right? Because there's some things that you're doing now that last year you wouldn't have put a second thought in.
Amen.
But now you got this thing called, you call it a conscience. But I call it Jesus that's in your ear saying, now you know.
Amen.
You need to fall back into that.
Yes,
Amen. Then that's when you start thanking God, well, at least I hear you now. Be careful of hearing him and then ignoring him.
Wow.
Because how many times can a person ignore you before you quit talking to him? Let me hold you. I'm going to leave y'all alone like that. What's our theme, our conversation, our living room conversation today? Y'all know about dysfunctional families. That's what's up, huh? You all right? All right. Dysfunctional families. I show of hands, don't be ashamed. How many of you know you got a dysfunctional family? Everybody in your hands ought to be raised. Because ain't nobody's family functioning perfectly. Amen. There's somebody in your family that's going in the opposite direction of the way that the family was ordained to go. Hey, oh, you didn't stand there. We got you. She left it up. See me. Now, you got to understand, we talked about King David last week, right? So now, function, let's look at the word function. What does the word function mean? Somebody said to work, to perform. In other words, to operate the way you were intended to operate. Right? So every one of us have a function, right? It's functional for us to walk upright and straight. But if everybody's walking upright and straight, then you run into somebody that's walking backwards. You would kind of look at that as dysfunction. Right? Another word you can look at for dysfunction is the word perverted. See, when we think pervert means something nasty, something sexual, something crazy. But the word pervert simply means twisted. All right? So if I go to this keyboard and I start beating on this keyboard, that's perverted. Because I am doing something to the keyboard that it was not intended for. It's meant for me to play the keyboard, not beat the keyboard. Does that make sense? So sometimes our thinking is perverted.
Wow.
As Christians, as people of God, if revenge is in our spirit, that's a perverted way of thinking. That's a twisted way of thinking. Does that make sense? A lot of times we look at opposition like the devil's trying to kill us. But as Christians, we should look at every opposition as an opportunity.
Come on.
Am I making sense? Look at the word opposition, opportunity. Opposition, opportunity, opponent.
Come on.
That's something coming against you. If you have an opponent, then your opponent is going to be there to fight you.
Amen.
So your opponent is your opposition, but your opposition is your opportunity.
Yeah.
Am I making sense?
Yeah.
So in other words, when you start getting things that come up against you, instead of getting mad about it, you're saying, I've been presented with an opportunity.
Come on. Yes.
If I win, what's going to happen?
Talk about it.
Now we were dealing with the word dysfunctional family. Last week, we talked about old King David. David did some horrible things, didn't he? Huh? And yet still the Bible calls him a man after God's own heart. Right? He did some things that most people would say was pretty ruthless. Am I right?
Amen.
He went out, he saw a woman taking a shower, and he desired that woman, and he went and had somebody get that woman, brought her home, and whatever, and then he sent her back home. He sent her back home pregnant. And then as she was pregnant, she told him, I'm pregnant. He calls her husband, who is working for him. tries to trick her husband into going back home and sleeping with his own wife so he can trick him into thinking that the baby is his. But yet he's still a man after God's own heart. But since the man did not fall for it, David said, you know what? I'm just going to have him killed. So he sent the man with his own death certificate and told him to be put on the front line of the most heated battle. And then once you get him on the front line of the most heated battle, withdraw all of the protection away from him. In other words, I want him dead. He wanted him dead because he wanted his wife. He wanted him out the way because he wanted to cover what he did. But yet still, he is a man after God's own heart. Right? And so most of us would say that David was pretty cold-blooded. Right? Don't that sound cold?
Yes.
Look to me. We're just in conversation here. Don't that sound ruthless? Don't that sound like, oh my God, are you serious? You can have all of the women of the kingdom, but you had to have this one. Oh, let me park right there 1 second. The one that he had to work for is the one that he wanted. Let me sit in your spirit real quick. He knew he could have had the other ones. They was easy. But the one that he wasn't supposed to have that put up some sort of a resistance, that's the one he wanted. What am I saying to you single people? Huh? I am telling you, you can't be easy and expect to land a king. You can't be easy and expect to land a king. If somebody's calling you a doorknob, that means something wrong. To pick that up in the spirit. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody got to turn the doorknob to get in. You understand? Follow what I'm saying here. So he went after somebody that he knew that he was not legally supposed to have.
Yes.
Why? Because it's just in the nature of most men. You go after them and you got to have a challenge. You got to have a challenge. And the one that gives you the challenge that makes you see beyond who you are, that's the one that you typically fall in love with. Not the one that's not a challenge at all. Am I making sense? So now we're here, and David has made this big mistake, not thinking anything about it. And then how many of us would say David was cold-blooded?
Amen.
How many of us would say David was ruthless?
Amen.
How many of us would say David was no good? But yet still, it's the only mistake in the Bible that is recorded that he really made. But we categorized him based off of one thing.
Okay.
I'm going to hurt your feelings. David wasn't cold-blooded. David was not ruthless. David was not cold-hearted. It's one right here, Marquisha. Amen. Y'all come right here. Just for you. Amen. It's good when you know business name. She ain't no business, but that's family. David was not ruthless. David was not cold-hearted. David was not cold-blooded. David wasn't even a killer. But you know what David had? Hey, David had a ruthless moment. David had a cold-hearted moment. David had a cold-blooded moment. Isn't it funny how you can have one moment in your life and now you're categorized for everything? How many of us have had, talk to me somebody, have had a weak moment? How many of us have had an angry moment? How many of us have had a lion moment? So they got quiet on that. How many of us have had a backstabbing moment? Now, is it fair for us to be categorized based off of a moment in our life? The moment you had may have happened when you was 12 or 13, but now you're 32. But sometimes that's the only thing people remember about you. Oh, I remember when you was 12 years old, I had a moment. Aren't you so glad God does not base our destination based on the moment that we had? Now, was it a bad moment? Yes, it was a bad moment. his flesh took over him in that moment. In that moment, I felt like that's what I wanted to do. But how many know about the word emotions? Yes. Emotions, energy in motion. In other words, I may feel like this right now, Mika, but in about 20 minutes, I'm probably not going to feel this way. Am I willing to pay the consequences for the rest of my life for a 20-second decision?
That's good. That's good.
Some of us are sitting here right now off of a 5-minute moment.
Come on, sir.
18 years.
Yeah.
And court dates later. Off of a 5-minute moment. If I had a judge, that's too late to think about it now. That moment's passing on. Now you got 18 more moments for the next 18 years. My God, my God. Some of us made a decision in the moment, and we promised to death do us part in the moment. That's why I tell them all the time, if you ever ask a woman to marry you, and she says, can I have a minute to think? Brother, let her go think about it. Because sometimes they say yes because they're caught up in the moment.
That's good.
Now, David had a moment to where he allowed his flesh to overtake him. But how many people took the opportunity to say, you know what, David? I know that was cold-blooded. That's out of your character. Here's King David believing in God, trusting in God, loving God. A man after God's own heart. He was obedient to God. Here's a man that knew people was trying to kill him, but he wouldn't touch him because he knew that those people belonged to God. This man, his character, his integrity was something for God to say, you are a man after my own heart. But you had a weak moment. But then it gets to the point, I'm asking David, how did you get to that point to where at that particular time, something stronger than you overtook you? God says it was not all about that moment. Sometimes when you want to know a person and why they think the way they think, why they act the way they act, why they do what they do, you have to look past them and look into their history.
Yes.
Look into their family, their parents, their grandparents, their sisters, their brothers. You have to look deep down, because sometimes we're fighting battles. We don't even know why we're fighting them, but great-great-grandmama know.
Yeah.
That's good.
Jesus.
We don't understand why anger runs in this particular family. We don't understand why racism runs in this particular family. But if the only face I see is yours, I'm going to always assume something is wrong with you.